Welcome to Military History Inside Out, covering wars and battles from across the globe and across the ages. Today's episode is a dramatized performance based on a historic battle.
Warning. This episode contains descriptions of violence and expressions of bigotry which may be disturbing. This language is used to educate listeners about attitudes and biases of the period so that they may better understand the events. Listener discretion is advised.
Thank you, and enjoy.
Today's battle, the Siege of Kyiv, November 28 to December 6, 1240. First point of view, introduction and chronology of events, the Principality of Galicia-Volhynia, the voice of the Rus. Source, the town crier of the Principality of Galicia-Volhynia, stationed in the Podil district and relaying orders from Voivode Dmitro. Method of transmission, bell ringing and shouted proclamation in the public square. The gathering storm, situation report. People of Kyiv, children of the Dnieper, heed the words of Voivode Dmitro. The end of days is no longer a prophecy, it is upon the horizon. We stand now in the year of our Lord 1240, in late November. The sun has abandoned us, retreating early behind the hills, leaving us to the biting frost and the long, terrifying dark. Look to the south. The horizon does not glow with the light of the setting sun, but with the fires of the Tatars. The Golden Horde, led by the grandson of the Scourge, Genghis Khan, Beitu Khan, has encircled us. We have heard the tales from Ryazan and Vladimir Suzdal. We know the fate of Chernigiv. They do not come merely to raid, they come to erase. Our prince, Daniel of Galicia, rides west, seeking aid from the Hungarians and the Poles. But we must face the truth. No army is coming to save us before the walls break. We stand alone. The voivode has done all he can, reinforcing the ramparts of Yaroslav's city and the city of Volodymyr. But the enemy numbers are beyond counting. It is said the squeaking of their thousands of carts is so loud that a man cannot hear the scream of his neighbor on the battlements.
The weather turns against us. The swamps near the Ladsky gates, usually our treacherous ally, have frozen solid under the hard grip of winter. The mud that would have swallowed their horses is now a highway of ice for their devilish engines of war. The Dnieper flows sluggish and gray, chunks of ice choking the banks, cutting off easy retreat. The terrain of our beloved city, with its steep hills and high bluffs, usually commands respect. But these invaders bring machines that throw stone and fire higher than our church spires. The daylight is short. We have but 8 hours of gray light to fight and 16 hours of darkness to pray while their drums beat incessantly in the void. Prepare your souls, people of Kyiv. The noise you hear is not thunder, it is the hoofbeats of the apocalypse.
Timeline of the siege, the defense. The encirclement and the bombardment, November 28th to December 4th. November 28th, 700 hours. First sighting. The vanguard of the Mongol Tumens appears on the horizon. The noise is deafening. The creaking of wains and the lowing of oxen drowns out the church bells. November 29th, 1200 hours. The envoy's silence. Batu Khan sends no new envoys today. They remember the fate of Monka's messengers whom we slew. There will be no parley. The black banners are raised. December 1st, 9:30 hours. Targeting the weakness. Voivode Dmitro reports the concentration of enemy siege engines, huge trebuchets hauled by oxen assembling opposite the Liadsky gates. The frozen marsh grants them solid footing. December 3rd, 14:15 hours. The rain of stone. The bombardment intensifies. Great stones, some the size of men, crash against the wooden palisades of the outer wall. The sound of splintering timber echoes through the upper city. December 4th, 16:45 hours. Sunset barrage. As light fails, the Mongols launch pots of naphtha and Greek fire. Sections of the outer wall are burning. The bucket brigades are exhausted.
The day of the breach, December 5, 06:30. Dawn assault. The sun rises blood red. The battering rams constitute a forest of wood moving against Ilyetsky gates. 08:45. The wall crumbles. A massive section of the wall near the Ilyetsky gates collapses under relentless pounding. A cloud of dust and snow obscures the breach. 0900. The first wave. The enemy infantry rushes the breach. Our spearmen hold the line, fighting shield to shield atop the rubble. Voyevode Dmitro is seen in the thick of the fighting, wielding a sword. 11:20. The withdrawal. We cannot hold the outer perimeter. The sheer weight of numbers pushes us back. The order is given to retreat from the breach. 1300. Street fighting. The battle spills into the streets of Yaroslavl city. Archers fire from rooftops into the Mongol mass. Every house becomes a fortress. 1530. The second line. We are falling back to the older fortifications, the city of Vladimir. The inner walls are higher, but our numbers are fewer. 1645. Dusk reprieve. Darkness falls. The Mongols do not pursue into the inner city labyrinth in the dark. The fighting lulls, replaced by the groans of the wounded. 1900. Night Council. The voivode orders all civilians to the Church of the Tithes. It is the last stone stronghold. 2100. Building barricades. Citizens tear down wooden shacks to reinforce the gates of the city of Vladimir. 2300. Prayers in the dark. The Metropolitan leads a vigil. The city is lit only by the fires of the burning outer districts.
The fall of Kyiv, December 6, 0700. The final push. The Mongols have moved their catapults inside the outer walls during the night. They are now pounding the gates of the city of Volodymyr at point-blank range. 1000. The citadel breached. The inner gates are shattered. The horde pours in like black water. 1200. Retreat to the church. The last defenders and hundreds of civilians pack into the Church of the Tithes. We are shoulder to shoulder. The air is thick with incense and fear. 1330. The last stand. Survivors climb to the flat roof of the church to rain stones down on the invaders. The weight is immense. 1400. The collapse. The walls of the Church of the Tithes tremble. Under the weight of the people on the roof and the battering rams below, the sanctuary collapses. Dust swallows the screams. 1430. Capture of Dmitro Voivode. Dmitro, wounded and pulled from the rubble, is taken alive. The city has fallen. Silence descends. Second point of view. The Mongol Empire.
The Mandate of the Eternal Blue Sky. Situation Report. Warriors of the Blue Wolf. Sons of the Steppe.
The mandate of the eternal blue sky is clear. All nations under the sun must bow to the great Khan or be broken. We stand before the city of Kyiv, the so-called mother of Rus cities. Look at it. It clings to the high banks of the great river like a frightened child. They thought the river would save them. They thought the cold would freeze our blood. but we are winter's masters. The frost that bites their toes only hardens the ground for our hooves. The swamp that guards their Polish gate is now solid ice, paved by the winter expressly for our conquest. These stone dwellers killed the envoys of Mongol. They violated the sacred law of hospitality and diplomacy. For this there is no mercy, only ash. We have swept through their princes like a scythe through dry grass. Their grand prince has fled to the west, trembling before our approach. The terrain is steep, yes, but our Chinese engineers have built machines that mock their walls. The sun is weak here, barely showing its face, but we fight by the light of their burning homes. The darkness is our cloak, and the cold is our forge. We are the Golden Horde, and today we break the spine of the Rus. Tighten your saddles, string your bows. The city is ripe for the harvest.
Timeline of the siege, the conquest, the preparation and terror, November 28th to December 4th. November 28th, 0800 hours, the noose tightens. The Tumans complete the encirclement. Batu Khan inspects the lines. No rat shall escape this trap. November 30th, 1000 hours. Psychological warfare. The drums begin beating in unison, thousands of them. We let the noise break their sleep and their spirits before we loose a single arrow. December 2nd, 1100 hours. Engine placement. Subutai Bahadur, the great strategist, identifies the frozen marsh near the wooden gate as the primary vector. The Chinese engineers begin assembling the traction trebuchets. December 4th, 1400 hours, softening the target. The bombardment is continuous. We aim not just for the walls, but for the morale of those inside. The breaking of the shell. December 5th, 0600 hours. The Khan commands the assault. The sky is clear and cold. Visibility is perfect for the archers. 0730 hours. Arrow storm. 3 Tumans of horse archers approach the walls, loosing a continuous barrage to keep the defenders' heads down while the rams advance. 0845 hours, the breach. The catapults shatter the timber and stone of the Liedsky gates. The path is open. 0915 hours, the charge. The heavy lancers and dismounted infantry storm the rubble. The resistance is fierce but uncoordinated. 1200 hours, securing the lower city. We have pushed them back from the breach. The outer city is ours. We begin burning the structures to clear lines of sight. 1400 hours, systematic advance. We do not rush blindly into the narrow streets. Subutai orders the demolition of houses to widen the path for the main force. 1700 hours, halting for night. The order is given to hold positions. We have taken the outer ring. Let them shiver in the citadel one last night. We feast on their stores. 2000 hours, preparation of fire. Engineers prepare naphtha pots for the final assault on the inner masonry. 2200 hours. Sentries are posted to ensure no messengers slip out to the river. The blockade is absolute. The extinguishing. December 6th. 0700 hours. Assault on Vladimir's city. The engines are brought forward. The range is short. every stone hits home. 0930 hours, scaling the heights. Ladders are raised against the earthen ramparts of the inner citadel. The defenders are exhausted. Their arrows lack force. 1100 hours, total penetration. The inner gates are smashed. The slaughter begins. The defenders flee like sheep to the great stone temple in the center. 1230 hours, siege of the church. The enemy has packed themselves into the stone church. They climb onto the roof to fight. A foolish tactical error.
1345 hours, engineering the end. Battering rams are deployed against the church walls. The structure is groaning under the weight of the people atop it. 1400 hours, the collapse. The church implodes. The dust rises to the sky. It is a sign of favor from Tengri. 1500 hours, the mercy of the Khan. The enemy commander, Dmitro, is pulled from the ruins. Batu Khan, seeing his wounds and courage, spares his life. He is granted the right to live, a testament to the ferocity of the battle. 1800 hours, victory. The fires of Kyiv light up the night. The city is erased. The path to the west is open.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Military History Inside Out. Today's episode has been a dramatized performance based on historical events. Listeners are encouraged to research the precise details of the event covered. Visit warscholar.org for social media and Discord community links. Please check back regularly for more episodes. Thank you for listening.